What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? So tonight we are live with Travis Spivey from Tarantula Genetics. We'll wait for a couple people to jump on here, and so Travis is cool enough to join us. This is going to be a little bit shorter of a live tonight. Everybody's got some family stuff to do and whatnot. I just got done with some funeral stuff for my uncle and whatnot, so I still gotta take care of some stuff that I was lacking for during my time away. So, Travis, man, thank you for joining us, brother.
Hey, how's it going? I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a good one to have your face on here, and you're one of those breeders that is talked about from a lot of people. You have a lot of good work to show, and so it's good to put a face to the work that everybody's been seeing and talking about.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I appreciate the craft, and I think that's what makes me strive the most, man. I'm excited to grow what I make.
Yeah,
absolutely, man.
I've been a lot of us, we've been growing your stuff for years, so we're real familiar with your stuff, but we're hoping that, we can open up some different people tonight to your genetics. We're fond of them. I've grown a bunch of your stuff over the years. Jay's done some of your stuff. He's used some of your stuff in crosses, so we're real happy to have you on, man. I'm glad you were able to join us tonight now.
Yeah, most definitely a pleasure, man.
So let me pull up my my list. I always get some questions written down because I forget stuff. So give me 2 seconds to just get on here so I can get my question list. I forgot to fucking pull it up. Hold on 1 second. Where am I?
All good.
Where the hell is it? Hold on. Sorry, guys. I hit the wrong fucking thing. I did the OpenAI. There we go. All right. So here we go. So I'm going to start off with. So let's start off with, how did you get into breeding, Travis? Let's start off there. What was the push to get you into it? Were you just getting tired of seeing, a lot of just garbage being put out, or like what was the antithesis to you getting into it?
So I started my real breeding about 2014, 2015, right about the time the russet mite epidemic kind of hit through everyone. And back then, there was around here at least, it was pretty hard to get a hold of strains that not everybody had in the first place. But when you did, you ended up with problems. And after I finally ended up with russet mites and had to shut down and lose everything I had to go back to resorting to seeds that I've already bought. And then from that made me notice that, hey, not only can I hunt, but if I breed my own seeds, I can start to shape what I'm looking for. I do take a lot of notes when it comes down to like noticing small details and noticing things like that. And cannabis plants are very fast at showing you like strong traits, so it wasn't too hard to start picking up after about 2 to 3 years that what I breed for and what I'm looking for as opposed to what people have around me. And I mean, it's kept me up for a long time. I've always had strains and variety that people didn't have. I never had to feel the drought, 2017 and 18 around here. It was just as bad as it is nowadays. Pounds were going for $1,200 when they used to be going for $3,600, and it was just the played out strains. Everyone had the same GMOs. Everyone had the same strains at the time. I worked at a growth store. So I started just kind of small, passing out seeds, people and friends from the growth store and, breeding my own stuff and really making good money off of just, the quality of having a variety that people didn't have. So it became really stuck to me and passionate. So by 2019, that's when I really dove deep into like, let's breed a whole line at this point of something we're looking for and find our, situations, which was my platinum cookies and cream line I made.
Yeah,
and that really did well. So then I ventured off from there. We made the platinum and punch line, the strawberry and cream line. And at that point, it blew up online. So, I mean, it's just been nothing but a passion of following my own dreams, making my own waves. And I guess I got noticed.
Yeah.
That's how it starts, man. Is having fun with it, and then once you realize you got something, it just grows from there, man. What are some, as far as your selection process? What are like 2 or 3 of the main things that you're looking for that you like to breed into your lines?
So one of the biggest things was low trim. I was trying to get into the legal market, which I'm in now. You can't really
Right.
process your own product while you're growing weed, so you got to sell it to people, and it's dirt cheap. So I like to make plants that have very low trim to bud ratios with high yielding plants. You know, it's got to be something that's high in THC, looks pretty, and can sell too. So the looks that I have, which is usually the frosty picture that everyone sees, that's been pretty stabilized throughout all my lines now, of having that type of, you know, frost factor. Having that nice bud structure has been nice and through all my lines now, and getting a nice low trim to bud ratio, man. They're probably my biggest 3 things. Terpenes, you can change all the terpenes the more you breed, regardless of what you're adding to it.
Yeah,
Getting that beautiful structure that you want is the hardest thing to kind of narrow down first.
yeah, and I think if you nail down that bud to leaf ratio, along with that comes with obviously easy to trim, but also that bag appeal, which I know can be taboo for most people to breed for bag appeal. But if the bud's not selling because it doesn't look good, then hey, that's business. But I like
100%.
I like those low leaf to bud ratios.
Yeah, so do
Beautiful
I.
one.
The trim is delights. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
100%. You know.
Most definitely.
With your breeding and whatnot, how much do you prioritize terpene versus just raw potency? Are you really at it? Because I mean, you're selling to dispos now, so are you really trying to push THC over terpene? Are you really trying to balance it?
I mean, so no, I'm pretty important on my terpenes too. Some of my test results recently was 30% THC, 3% terpenes. So I mean, they're pretty high up there.
Yeah.
Having the same bag nose, I like to call them booth bags, or some people like to call them pressure bags. They all smell the same because they all got runts in it. They all got GMO in it. They're all the same type of smell. And that's not something my smells are. So if you're looking for a certain smell that's like what you're used to smelling and everybody else's exotics, that's not what I'm here to do. My stuff's here to smell different. You know, I got very good strawberry smelling strains, chocolate smelling strains. I got the old gas smelling strains. You got the diesel smelling strains. So, I mean, I got a lot of different strain varieties on the way they are. The look is locked down, and that's what's most important for me. Your
I'm
look, your
smoking right now.
THC potency, and then, you know, you can control what strains you're trying to get out of it when it comes to smells and terpenes.
I'm smoking the strawberry and platinum right now that I grew. It shit is it's like strawberry quick, dude. That shit, it's so good.
hell yeah.
That's one of my favorites, bro. That strawberry Gary and platinum that you came out with last.
Hold on
run,
one second, guys. You about to head out? Hey, I appreciate you swinging by, bro. Yeah, drive safe, man. My bad, man. My landlord's over here. He's heading out.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Let's see here. Have you noticed any consistent correlations between like specific terpene profiles and like plant growth habits? Like since you've been breeding so much, do you really like trigger in where you can like really, you know, like I guess the best way is, you know, to put it is like, do you, with specific terpenes, do you notice specific like growth traits, like where like a plant's more stretchy with it's like a gassier strain or anything like that? You know, messing
I
with
guess
some of
that
your
really
plants?
more depends on the way that you're locking down your traits.
Okay.
You know, if you go back into the Mandel readings and findings that he did with the pea plants, you'll realize that like there's dominant traits and recessive traits. If your terpene is a recessive trait to where if I popped 100 seeds, only 3 of them showed that terpene expression, I can almost guarantee it's not going to be easy to breed that into something. I'm going to have to F1, F2, F3 to make something happen out of that. So when you're looking at something that has high priority, you pop 100 seeds and 80 of them showed this type of trait. You can almost guarantee that that's going to be an easy trait to pass on. If that's a desirable trait, then that's a breedable plant. And that's the easier way that I can come up with a conclusion to get faster results without having to F1, F2, F3 something, is what traits are you looking for out of this genetic? What does its grandparents do? What do its parents do? And what is it you're looking for when you're hunting? As opposed to trying to find the recessive trait and make something that's not there. Other strains have that trait. more prevalent than a strain that you're looking for. There is no trait you're going to find that's going to be like, this is a magical trait. You know, you do find some stuff, you know, such as like the freak show and crap like that. But I mean, when you're sitting there trying to do that, that's not a normal trait. He had an F2, F3, F4, F5 that to make that prevalent. And that's a long process to where I look for more of the shorter terms. This is what I'm trying to control through lineage. So I'm going to pass off when I'm using the breeding plant, which would either be the father or the reversal plant, strong genetics of what I'm looking for, not something that's recessive that I have to keep attacking at to make it happen. And this is why you see such good results out of the seeds we have, and they sit around a common factor. Yes, there's different phenos. Yes, there's different things they're doing, but they have very common looks, very common growth traits because of this.
I think I want to piggyback off what you just said, and that's what I kind of like give advice to some people when we're talking about genetics, what we're looking for, and how we can kind of conclude how something's going to turn out. Is a lot of people don't look back to the important thing is looking at the grandparents and looking at what the parents did, and if you can find a pattern between the grandparent and the parent, you have a pretty good idea of what's going to be passed on, kind of like what you just said. And I think 100%. That's like a
I mean, humans are no different, man. Knowing when you have a strong dominant trait like black hair or brown eyes, it's going to pass on most of the time, you know, and that's just what happens when there's a strong dominant trait facing a non-strong dominant trait. Yeah, you too. Have a good one, man.
So here's a question for you, lean into that. Like, how do you approach testing for male plant quality, given they don't show flower traits the same as like a female?
So
like,
the males that I hunt don't even get a chance to be chosen until after I set them aside, and I ran a bunch of the females first. When I'm hunting for females, you look for structural traits that you're looking for off the commonality. Once again, I'm not trying to find a magical male that's going to be like the one out of a bunch that ain't going to pass any of that on.
Nice. Nice.
You know, so when you can look at its sisters and go, this is how it grew in veg, this is how it grew during flower, this is what the commonality was, and this is the one that looks the most like them, you can almost guarantee it's passing off them genetics.
Yeah.
That's a good way to go about it.
Makes total sense. You know what I mean? It makes total sense, you know? Yeah, I mean, 100%. Let's see here. All right, here's a question I actually ask everybody, any genetics guys that come on here. Do you think the industry is leaning too heavily into like hype crosses instead of long-term genetic stability?
Perfect. Could you repeat that? Sorry, man.
Do you think the industry is leaning too heavily into like hype crosses instead of long-term genetic stability?
Most definitely, man. They could care less if it comes from a female, true female plant. They can care less if it comes from a fem plant. They can care. It's all about name to people, man, and it's a wave that's already created. It's an easy way to make money, and that's what, you know, can't knock someone for doing it. And they're all trading clones. No one's working anymore. Everyone's hunting out one magical clone, and then that's the clone everyone breeds with. It's nothing different.
Yeah,
not wrong there. Not wrong.
Everybody. Not a single breeder that comes on, you know, it's always the same answer. It's really just ruining the industry. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I haven't touched a clone in 10 years. Everything's been hunted by seed or bred by me and hunted by seed. I haven't touched an outside clone in 10 years. So, I mean, everything I've ever bred with is something I hunted to breed with and I have plans for. It's never been like, oh, the name's hype. Oh, this is happening. That's a hype moment, you know?
All right, so here's one for you while we're talking about the industry. How do you feel about these large corporations stepping into breeding? You know, is it threat, opportunity, or both?
I guess I don't know what you mean by that question. You mean large corporation, like already big breeders, or? Yeah,
like these big, you know, there's a lot of big breeding, you know, big companies that are just coming out, you know, look at some of these companies, what the fuck's that company? Crop King Seeds. They bought like 15 different fucking companies, and it's all the same one breeder, just fucking cash grabbing. Half the strains are off. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about
that? Shit is crap.
Huh? So I mean, I say it like this, man. When it comes to breeders, it ain't about who's doing it, what's doing it. It matters about the reputability of what you feel comfortable buying, man. And I mean, I guess that goes back to a fool and their money can be departed or soon to be departed. It really, you know, it's all about what you feel is value. Yeah. So I can't judge somebody else for buying something that they feel because the name's bigger is better to buy.
Yeah.
You know, it may be, it may not be. It's not for me to judge. Do you feel comfortable with buying is the question. And if that's what you do, then that's what you want. Then you did a good job.
Yeah, listen, I hear you. You know, I definitely hear you on that one. You know, where do you see the breeding scene heading in the next like 5 to 10 years? You know, do you see what do you think's going to
I
happen?
see it heading exclusive wise. A lot of legalization is happening right now everywhere, and people are now starting to realize that craft is very important. This is why I can get the price I'm getting on the legal market, where other people told me it was impossible. It's not impossible. You're growing what you bought from a clone, bro. Everyone else can buy that too. There's nothing different that you're doing that somebody else is doing. They got the same lights. You know, so what steps you apart is really just being synchronized different. You know, I don't come with a room of 40 pounds of one strain. I got 40 pounds divided by 4 strains. You know, that 4 strains won't be seen again for a year. I own 43 different strains. So in 1 year, you're seeing 26 strains throughout my whole harvest, and none of them have been the same.
No. Yeah.
Which means I can go to a dispensary and go, cool, you still got some of my weed, no problem, but it's different. So now they got 12 of my strains going on a shelf, as opposed to being like, I can't buy 20 pounds of that. So it makes a big difference and a big scene. But until people can understand that, which people are starting to do this. So I've had a couple of people come up and ask about exclusive strains for their facilities so that they can be part of that. And that's where I think breeding end up going, is like making more, you know, specific strains for companies, and they'll buy the whole stock because they can run 30,000 plants.
Nice. What's your take on tissue culture and preserving elite genetics?
As for the small bats, there will always be a gardener that wants to grow in their, you know, closets or small bedroom or in a small tent. That'll be the same, man. It'll fluctuate in and out.
Yeah, I could see that. You know, let's see. What, in your opinion, what's the most overlooked aspect of selecting a mother plant?
Depends on what the mother plant's for. I got 3 different, you know, businesses at this point. I got my outside grows, I got my legal grow, and I got my, you know, breeding side. So when I'm looking for a mother, it depends on if the mother's for me to something I'm growing. Am I trying to produce this as something I want to sell, or am I trying to breed with this? You know, do I want to pass these qualities on?
Yeah. Let's talk about, you know, let's see. Let me see. All right, so here's one for you. Do you actively breed for disease and pest resistance, or is that more of a byproduct of selection process?
I mean, I'm not an outdoor grower, so I would never really be able to tell you, because I don't bring pests and diseases into my rooms. I haven't had them in a long time.
Yeah,
So it'd be real hard for me to give you a straight answer, but like, oh yeah, man, I know dang straight I could bring mites and this plant don't get it. You know, you would have to put that in there, and I would never ever put that type of things in my rooms on purpose to figure out. But I've had pretty good results of people going outside and not having issues. And a lot of people don't know this about mites, but mites can see inside spectrums, and your plants put off a pheromone when they're sick. So if your plants ain't healthy, that's what's attracting these bugs. That's what attracting these mold. That's what attracts a lot of your problems with not having a healthy plant. You know, so just having a healthy structured plant, having a healthy setup with your plants, whether it's outside or inside, a little bit of IPM can do a long way over just relying on a genetic to be like, I'm not going to have a problem.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's like sharks and injured fish. To need, you know, easy catch.
100%, man. And I mean, that's exactly how they work. I used to work in the grow store, and trying to explain this to people is like, you know, there's a reason why one plant's got more mites than the rest. And it's because that plant, it ain't that the rest have resistance and one don't. It's that plant was probably sick.
Yeah, they didn't even touch the healthy one. They didn't even go near it.
Yeah,
they all just attack the sick one. That's why you'll see like one that has 0 and one that has 100,000.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
For sure. You know, your sweeter plants have more, you know, they have more chances of catching things like white flies and, you know, thrips and other things that are sap suckers. Mites and crap like that ain't really here for you because it's sweeter. It's because your plant's weaker. But I mean, there is bugs that are definitely like, hey, your plant's sweeter. It seems attractive to me, and I'd like to suck that sap.
Yep. So here's one for you. So when you're hunting phenos, what's an instant deal breaker trait that makes you just toss a plant?
Being just trash, man. I mean, I'll tell you the truth, man. I ran some strains in rooms where everything in the room's okay looking or fine, and you got some good phenos, and I had some stuff like next to it. It's like, it looks like I never grew weed before. Like, you know, like that old school high times 80s look. You know, that's not being grown by me. I'm not doing anything with that ever again.
It looks like a straw broom on a plant.
Yeah, when you can't do nothing with it and you don't even want to smoke it yourself, you don't feel proud about it. That's gotta go.
Bro, those old 70s and 80s high time strains, bro. I don't even know how people smoke that shit.
Yeah, like, man, I did some strawberry headband, man. Probably some of the worst shit I've seen in my life.
It's insane, bro. It looks like
I had like 30 of them in a room, man. It was harsh. I couldn't sell it. I couldn't do anything with it. Was it hashy enough to make product with? I mean, this thing was just, all out 10 out of 10 trash.
Oh my God, bro. You must
can't even blast it. What do you as far as your grow technique and your operation, is there a certain structure, a plant structure that you like to work with? Like for me, I'm growing hundreds of 1 gallons, so I typically like a more a taller,
so at my legal place, open. We did similar to that. We go 3 gallons, 3-week flips are a lot smaller, a lot different. At my other places to stay compliant and legal, we have them a lot bigger, so they get a whole 9-week bed. They're in 7 gallons at the end, and they're pretty nice stats. What I can deal with short shroudy like indica ones. I don't mind them ones. They're a little leafier than I want. And I know you can run extra. The ones I can't stand is like the Gorilla Glue growth. I don't like the double trellis something. I don't like to have to be like, man, this thing's falling over itself in week 3 and I got to worry about problems. I like that more stiff, straight arms.
That's what I like.
They come out with huge yields. They stick in a trellis perfect. They're 4 to 6 inches taller than the trellis.
I got a fucking what do you call it right now? Root beer pebbles. That's like that, bro. The fucking thing is literally just like just a crown. It's absolutely gorgeous, bro.
Yeah, I love strains like that, man.
That'd be my favorite structure for sure.
Yeah, it's the Gorilla Glue ones. Like I got a couple. Like I got a great Gary that I have, man. I just can't get rid of. I hunt it out. Stupid fire. But I mean, in my opinion, it grows like Gorilla Glue. Not gonna be my breeder cut. The other one I found of it that I kept for breeding has structure the way I want. It's just the one that looks like the Gorilla Glue really, really stinks different. So it's just
you don't want something that you're gonna be fighting from the get go. So
so if I go to breed with that, I have the feeling I will be fighting with that, man. You're gonna have 50-50 chances of the rest of your strains doing that. I'm just not gonna breed with it. You know? But grow it for people to like, hell yeah, all day.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And in there.
I have a 7981 skunk right now. That's so fucking unruly. The thing looks like fucking it was in the Humpty Dance video. It's just fucking twisted up and just a mess. But it's gonna throw some massive buds out. It's already fucking got just big ass buds on it for like 20 days. I'm like, man, this thing's gonna be a fucking disaster. But it's gonna throw some beautiful fucking weight, It's just a mess, though. The fucking thing just goes crazy. This is the 3rd time I've grown it, and every time it just fucking goes nuts. It does what it wants to do.
Hey, Ryan Light's got a question for you, Travis.
Yeah, go ahead. What is it? My bad. I can't see. I gotta put
Ryan Light is asking, what do you think is one of the most overhyped strains, and what is one of your favorite strains?
All right, non-made strains by me. Favorite strains goes back to Death Star, man. I couldn't stand growing it, but I fucking love the way it smoked. That was one of my all-time favorite strains. One of my all-time, I think you guys are overhyping that strain. That Super Booth, man. That I don't know why, but that bothers me.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
Stupid pretty, man. It's the taste of just grapefruit and weirdness. I don't know. Just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, it's some of those fucking strains, they get you fucking wasted, though. You know what I mean? Like, some of those strains just hit you fucking, like, with the giggle. Like, that's the thing about them.
That's how I felt back in the day about that Death Star, man. Every time I smoked it, I was like, man, I'm ripped. Other strains since then, after I started breeding, the Platinum Monkey Mint Punch holds the spot of top strain I've smoked. Every person I smoke it with is like, wow. I'm like, yeah, I'm like that all day, bro.
Yeah. I just aim for the one in the middle.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Here's one for you. Is there a particular grow mistake you see over and over again that just makes you shake your head every time? Like one thing that you just constantly see people fuck up and you're like, man, this again?
Taking clones in that have fucking pests and diseases and not learning from it, man. I mean, that's the ultimate grow killer.
I've seen people do that shit over and over again, bro. Like, fucking,
so easy just to not hunt some seeds, man.
Yeah.
So easy. I guess that's my biggest pet peeve. I think the biggest mistake I see people do is just, Honestly, overwatering and not understanding their environment. There's math
I was
to
about
the
to say,
amount of there's math to the amount of water there is, to the amount of pot you have, to the amount of plant the size there is compared to the amount of electricity and light output you're putting. That all matters when it comes to, you know, the cation exchange rate.
Yep. People, yeah. Listen, you can tell people that shit till they're blue in the fucking face. But you know what? It's just for some strange reason, it just bounces off people's heads. I don't know why. You know, it's one of those things. It's maddening. You know, I think that's one of the hardest things to try to get people under control with. Like, you know, when I was doing the groups and like really mentoring people a lot, I think that was one of the biggest fucking obstacles that to try to overcome with people was that right there.
Yeah, well, the best way to really explain it when I was behind the counter to explain it to people is the big question everyone always had was, how much does each of your plants weigh? And I'm like, bro, some of my plants are 2 pounds a plant. It really doesn't matter about the plant. It matters more about the circumference of how big of mini footprint your plant's taking compared to how many watts are being given in that footprint. So I like to base all my math of how much are you getting per 1,000 watts in a 4x4. So if you don't have 1,000 watts in a 4x4 and you got 600 watts because you're LED, you need to talk about how much watts you got inside there per watt compared to per foot. Because wasting room space is also an equation that people need to start to think about, because it's cool that I could take 2 4x4 600 watts and go, I got a pound and a half, and you're getting 2 pounds, but you're wasting 400 watts. I'm getting more poundage per gram, but you're losing time. You only get 5 harvests a year, and if I can pull more weight per harvest, that $300 fucking electric bill is not what's changing life. You know, so an equations can be set up in so many different ways to come up with so many different answers.
Yep.
I think a big thing of what you just said is a lot of people they want the bigger yield, they want faster growth, and they're pumping out these brand new big lights. And what people are failing to do is adjusting the other part of their, not only their environment but their nutrients, their watering. If you're going to be pushing a plant to its max, you're gonna have to adjust your other things, or you're just gonna end up with this big yellow bastard.
Yeah.
Well, just remember that less heat also requires less transpiration, which means less water needed. Less water needed, or that same amount of water, because your plant is thriving the same way, would mean higher perspiration. Higher perspiration is higher humidity. You now got to add extra dehumidification in order to make up for the LEDs of what a double ender would be eating away with heat. So it all comes down to the same electrical bill when you start to think about it. It's more about square foot. How much square footage are you doing, and how many times can you harvest a year? If I'm cutting out let's say I have 10 light room, they're all now 600 watts, and I'm getting a pound and a half instead of running them 1,000 watts times 10 lights, and I'm getting 2 pounds. The electric bill is not going to make up that extra half pound times 10 times 5 runs a year that you thought you saved on an electric bill. It just ain't.
Yeah.
So it's all about how you see your circumference of going. If I'm in a small environment and I don't want to bang the heat, and I'm not here to bang out weight per square foot, I'm here to bang out weight for what I need and a little bit of paying my bills, then LEDs is what you're looking for. But if you're looking to like really bang out a facility, you need to go double-ended or double stack your LEDs. You got a double size ceiling and you put 2 LEDs in that same square foot, double stack because they can be closer. You're now killing the game.
Yeah.
You know, once again, you maximize square footage over maximizing your electricity output, because you are now doubling the electricity output than I would have with 1,000 watt in that same square foot. So you gave up on the idea of trying to save electricity and maximize your square footage output. And that's what bangers are trying to do.
I got a question for you from somebody. If you could only breed with one parent plant from your collection for the rest of your career, which one's your ride or die? Like, what's your one ride or die plant, your strain?
So like the one I can only be the mother, or the actual host?
Yeah, exactly. That one plant that you would just fucking take to the grave with you. Like, that'll always be there.
Well, that's a hard one. I'd probably go with the monkey, man.
Yeah. The monkey.
Yeah, every time we make a line, that thing's in there.
Yeah. There you go. It really is. It really is. That fucking thing's always in there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How do you find it matches up with everything like real well? Like, there's nothing it just doesn't match up with, huh? Like, have you ever found something that really don't go with it?
No, so her traits that I like seem to be very dominant. Every time I put it out there, it's like, here's some super high THC, super awesome terpene, easy to grow plant. Her problem is he also passes off her structure, so you got a really smaller, shorter, stocky plant, So she's a better in a multi-field, running, a bunch of 1 gallons quick flip, as opposed to trying to grow a 9-week big plant.
Here's another one. What's one trait you wish more growers appreciated besides yield and potency?
More growers or more breeders?
More breeders, I say.
I wish they would care more about the person growing it more than they do about the consumer and wanting whatever hype there is.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that a lot. There's a lot of breeders that you can't even no matter what, you can't get in touch with them to ask them a question. You know what I mean? Like, I always say humanizing companies is one of the biggest mistakes that companies make, is that they don't have that connection with their with their customers. I see that more and more, and I think that's like one of the biggest mistakes that people can make, is not having.
Back when I was working in the field, we worked at a supermarket grocery store that was a lot like Whole Foods, like pretty much Whole Foods competition, called Plum Market, and like they took us to a training class from Zingerman's, and Zingerman's is a little small bread shop in Ann Arbor, right here in Michigan, that's been local to us for a long time. They've been rated the highest in the United States for customer care, to what they have changed the word from customer to guest, because that's how important it was to have a connection with a person before looking for a dollar. And that's bred with me for a long time, and that's the way I look at every time I have a situation, and there's always some way I can make this right. Rather there's a problem or not a problem, you just got to stay level-headed. You got to respect the person and their feelings first before you think of your own. And that's what a lot of people miss in just normal day-to-day communications.
And that kind of what I was going to bring up to you is like personability effect, like me and you both seem to have, and like, when you're in the industry or you're a grower or whoever, and you see these big companies that you've never even seen them comment to somebody, you've never even seen them make an announcement or do any type of thing to the people that are buying their genetics. Obviously that's super important to you. Is it hard for you to make that happen between your grow time, your operations, your family? Do you set aside time for that? Is there a certain platform you mostly communicate people with?
Facebook's my main platform, man. You get to see me straight on my main page, which is, been kind of hard lately because I've been flagging it so much, so I had to make a fake page. But I like to show who I am. The industry's been hiding in the dark for too long. I'm here in the open. Everything I have is known. The strains are named after my kids, my dogs, my personal life, the things that I love and I enjoy. So I truly enjoy what I put out. I truly feel and stand behind what I put out. And it's just for a good experience for everyone. Regardless if you run my genetics or not, I'm always open to help you with questions or anything I'm capable of helping you with. This is a helping community. If it wasn't for my friends that helped me get into this in the first place, back then, it was a lot more secretive. But there is always a help at hand. And I believe strongly that if we can help more people do it, they will influence other people to help you do it. And whether it brings money back to you or not, it brings money to the community. And that's the most important thing.
Yeah. That's 100%. I couldn't agree with you more, bro. I think that, like I say it, I say it all the time, that, the ones that care are the ones that fucking have longevity in the industry. You know what I mean? I've seen so many companies just come and go in the 5 years that I'm on here doing this shit. That it's insane. And you've been here. You started on Facebook right around the same time I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the difference is this, man. Is people. I've seen a lot of people come and go. I'm not going to say names, but like when I first started blowing up, it's like they're on their first year trying to do the same thing I'm doing, and it's cool. There's nothing wrong with it. But you think of what I'm doing so easily instead of putting in the work, and that's where the problem goes. There's been sleepless nights for us where I didn't know if we were going to make rent because like I have rust mites and I can't get this product sold and I can't get this shit done. So I got to go and fight this shit night on, night end and try to get shit figured the fuck out. There's real life at some points while you're worried about being rated. So I understand like the struggle. I understand like there's a difference between hobby and really wanting to be a survivor in this industry, what can eat you so quickly. The bills that stack on you are just, within 1 month of failing, you're eating. So yeah. I understand both of them, and there's going to be hobbyists and there's people that think that it's done easy because it looks easy. It's not easy, and there's very restless nights, and the stress you got to deal with because there's no one to ask is a hell of a journey, and that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Here's a question for you. What's the biggest difference between breeding for like your personal stash versus breeding for a commercial market?
I mean, so when I'm looking for commercial breeding strains, number one, it's got to be something that's high yielding, easy to be copacetically stuck next to each other and not cause you problems. A bushy plant's that cause you mildew running them on a table with 100 of them. You know, so you want something that grows nice and stiff, holds their own space, doesn't take up other space, and handles their business while being appetizable to a consumer, which becomes the most biggest part.
Here's one from Sarah. Do you believe outdoor grown cannabis can ever match or beat the flavor profile of indoor?
Depends on what state you're in, man, and what you're doing with it. Is this light dep? Are you doing this inside of a controlled substate breeding? Are you inside the middle of Michigan where they cut you off and with rain and trash? I mean, California, we can definitely do it. I mean, so can some other states that have that type of, you know, atmosphere for you to have a good grow outdoors. Some states not, you know. You're at the weather's mercy, and that's what's the most important thing to realize out there. Yes, natural sunlight is just as good as any light on the indoors, but that rain that's on top of it, the bugs that are on top of it, your shady days you didn't get that you would get on the indoor, that stuff adds up.
Yeah, we're pretty spoiled out here for weather-wise on outdoor.
It's a nightmare. Upstate New York, bro. Like some of these guys, man, I feel bad for them every year, bro. Those guys go through fucking hell. I watch that upstate New York guys, and I'm just like, man, I don't know how you guys even. I wouldn't even bother if I was living up there, bro. They go through hell every year. I know Michigan's not a peach neither. Michigan's got a fucking nasty outdoor climate too.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, if you run light dep or half lights, half light, or half lights, half natural, you can get some good product out here.
You can get that time.
Control it.
How short are your summers?
I mean, we get rain really badly end of September all the way until the middle of October where it starts to freeze. That's the biggest problem out here. Like bud rot and mold really starts to happen.
Oh, that's pretty much like upstate New York, bro. It's pretty much the same thing, you know. It's exactly the same shit, just wet.
I don't think we get a freeze until January, and even then it's like
yeah, that's crazy. No,
and even then it's like 31 degrees.
Yeah, you're a dick. All right.
Yeah, you can push it over here. You can really push it to the end of October. Lately, the last couple of years, it's been okay to do so. But the amount of rain you got within them first 3 weeks of October was enough to be like, you need to cut that. If you're not preventing that rain, you're going to get bud rot.
Yeah. Well, I know that we're going to do a short one here tonight because I know you got about 45 minutes. So unless there's any more questions from you guys, I'm going to pull up some trivia questions. We're going to do a couple packs of seeds and some shit. All right. So anybody else got any more questions for Travis? Because we're going to be doing a quick one here tonight. Anyone? If not, here comes some trivia. So, Travis, what kind of pack you want to give away? What strain you want to pick from?
Let's do 2 packs, man. Let's go ahead and do one out the new red line and one out the BX Fem line.
Hell yeah.
So we'll do one Max Stomper line, their choice, one BX Fem line, their choice.
Nice. All right, give me 1 second to pull up a few trivia questions, get my notebook. Hold on a second here. Let me just get my notebook so I can write down who wins. And I'll do a half off an Aeromixer also. All right. So listen, guys. The first one to answer that we see wins. All right. We're gonna do 4 quick ones. Do 2 Travis, 1 Blizzy, 1 Aeromixer, and we'll call it a night so everybody can get to with their families. All right. So, all right. What year did California become the first U.S. state to legalize medical marijuana? First one to get this will get a pack of choice from Travis's new BX line. Actually, the BX line's the one before that. That's the Max.
Brian got it.
Brian Fout.
1996.
Hold on 1 second here.
You better have known that, Brian.
Yeah.
I can't see none of that.
You can't see the questions on the screen?
No, it just says last year I didn't frost here until late November forever.
Hold on.
Oh, in the comment section?
Yeah. There's no section. It's just last comment. There we go. 1996.
Okay, just popping up a little slower for you.
So, let's see here. Next question. Hold on. Damn it. I went out of them. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. I went out of them on accident. All right, so Brian, since you won, don't answer again. Hold on a second. God damn it. I did it again.
What you doing, champ?
All right, here we go. Hold on. All right, here we go.
But you can't get it. Okay?
What the fuck is going on here?
Drop any of it, okay?
Hold on a second.
No.
I keep hitting the damn thing backwards. All right, here we go. All right, second one. So we'll go for another pack of Travis's here. All right, what's the name of the movie where Harold and Kumar go on a quest for food while high? Come on, who knows this one? First one to answer. What's the name of the movie where Harold and Kumar go on a quest for food while high? Who's got it? This is so easy. What's the name? You got to see the whole movie.
Yeah, this hurts my soul.
Now, what's the name of the whole movie? Slobby T. There you go. Slobby T.
Combine both.
Slobby T. I don't know if you, what do you call it? Email me. Hold on, I'm going to put my email up so you can email me so I can get you with Travis for a pack. Hold on 1 second. All right. Show this motherfucker. There you go. Email me so I can get you with it. All right. So now we're gonna do a Blizzy pack.
Mm-hmm. I kind of want to reward people that have been following me for the years, but haven't had a chance to run my gear. Or if you have, but want to kind of ask a question. Maybe only some people would know that have known me for a while.
Go for it.
Besides breeding, what is my main career?
Ooh. Ooh. Let's see. Rapping. EMT, Bobby Carroll.
We'll take. I'm gonna give it both to Travis and Robert.
Bob Carroll.
I guess some places EMT is the same thing as a paramedic, but I'm gonna give it to both of them, Robert and Travis.
Email me so I can get you with him. All right, bro. Fucking rapper.
Yeah, I wouldn't know the difference.
Hey, I used to freestyle in high school when we were smoking blunt.
Blizz and the Funky Bunch. Blizzy and the Funky Bunch.
Oh, that's fucking great.
All right, so we're gonna do one more for a half off of an Aeromixer. If you've won one of these already, do not answer. All right, I know who you are, so I don't think you're gonna get another one. All right, so the final question of the night will be. Oh, this is a good one. This is a really good one, bro. I'm going to give a hard one for this since I usually give an easy one. Who is known as the father of cannabis research? Dr. Who? Whoever gets this one's the fucking man. I'll tell you that much. Who is known as the father of cannabis research? Dr. Who? Nope. I'll give you a hint. The first name's a Spanish name. Come on. Travis, you know this one? Nope.
God damn it.
Come on. Someone's got to get this one.
Where is this?
Yep. Mechulam. Ryan Light, Dr. Mechelon. Good shit, bro. Very good shit. I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised that somebody got that one. That was a good one. So, Aeromixer. All right. So,
Hell yeah.
all right, guys. So, before we go, I want to just go over who we got coming on the next couple of weeks real quick, and then we'll say our good nights. So, next week we have Canagen Marketplace. Sorry. Canagen Marketplace is a free for breeder listing site that's has a subscription thing with like commercial breeders, nurseries from all over the country, all over North America. So breeders don't pay for fucking to list on there. It's listed done for free. There's no fees, no nothing. The breeder actually makes all the money. They don't pay any fees. They actually don't even do the transaction. They set the transaction to the breeder. So the breeder's making everything. They're not taking a fee from them. They're taking fees from the commercial guys and stuff that want to access the genetics. So they're going to come on. The CEO, Mark Kaplan, and his CEO, Dr. Anna Schwab, will be with us. Then August 15th, we have the president of Black Dog LED and Alien Hydro North America, Noah Miller, and his logistics and marketing guy, Joe DeFries. Then we have on the 21st, Dr. Dinesh Dhaliwal, the owner of Optic Folia. And then we have on the 29th, the Dawn of Germination, man, my man from Canacan. Fucking one of the easiest germination tools. If you have issues germinating at home, bro, this thing will literally foolproof your germination. It's like one of those things, you know? It's absolutely like ridiculous how this thing works. You know, I've seen people who can't germinate for nothing use these things and just kill their germination rates finally, you know? So really good little system. So that's what we got coming up. Travis, man, thank you so much for hanging out, bro. You know, I know that last time you had, you know, an issue, your daughter got, you know, a little bump or whatever, got hurt or something. So, you know, I'm glad that you stuck with us and came back, man. It really means a lot to us, the community, especially, you know, that you took the time to come on and chill, bro, you know.
I think we lost Travis.
Oh, shit. We lost him. Hold on. There we go. Sorry,
Damn, dude, I was
Travis.
having a whole conversation, man.
Yeah.
That's my bad. I somehow clicked out. I don't know what happened.
I don't know
No,
how.
you can do that easily on here. I do it all the time.
You know, but thank you for
So
coming
no, I
on,
super
man.
appreciated it, bro. It was a good interview, man. I had a good time.
I appreciate it, bro. You know,
Yeah, seriously, man. It was good to talk to you, bro.
You know,
Most definitely.
we appreciate the guys who come on, man, because there's a lot of dudes who, you know, who, you know, they just don't, like I said, they don't know how to communicate with the community, man, and you know, and it shows. You know, those guys, they're all starting to phase themselves out. A lot of those guys are starting to have bad genetics and stuff too. You know what I mean? Like the proof comes in the pudding, bro. You know, and the guys who show their faces are the guys who usually have the best shit from what I've seen out there. You know what I mean? You know. So
No, they definitely are more willing to stand behind it. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, if I had shit genetics, I wouldn't want to show my face either.
yeah, no, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that just goes hand in hand.
That's just so funny. But all right, guys. Well, enjoy, man. Travis, bro. Good luck, man. You know, I hope this goes well, brother. And we'll hope to see you back on. You know, down the road when you have some new drops or something, man. You're more than welcome to come back on anytime, brother.
Most definitely, man. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day.
All right, guys. Everybody, thank you for chilling out. We'll see you next week with
Good night, everyone.